Good evening everyone, welcome to Tom Plays Europa Universalis 4 for absolute beginners. EU4 is an unusually difficult strategy game for a computer game, and I could imagine a lot of people trying it and being put off by the difficulty. I'm not an expert at it. I've played it a certain amount, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos that by people who are far more accomplished at this game than I am. But one thing I've found is that even when they try and do tutorials for beginners, they do tend to explain quite a lot of stuff. So I thought I'd try, as an intermediate player, just run through a Let's Play playthrough and try and explain the reasons behind the decisions. I'd imagine anyone experienced with the game may get quite frustrated because I'm intending to leave a lot of stuff out, especially in the first games. I'm likely to not do a perfect playthrough. There's going to be a lot of things I ignore for the sake of simplicity, and to some extent because the idea is to indicate that the game can be fun, I'm going to kind of do a certain amount of role-playing, not necessarily going to make the best decisions strategically if it means staying in character as whichever ruler I'm playing. So hopefully that will actually be helpful for some people. I'm going to be playing with no DLCs, no disparagement to the DLCs that they've produced. It's just I think any new player will likely not have them and won't want to invest in them unless they already enjoy the game. And I want to show that it's actually a very enjoyable game, even as the vanilla. Might do DLCs later, but for now, just gonna show what you can do without them and show how you can get something out of the game, have a decent playthrough, hopefully have an enjoyable experience without any of the DLCs, without being an expert, and yeah, without having to do a perfect playthrough, but hopefully one that you'll enjoy. A little word about patching. See down here, bottom left corner, this is the patch currently got for the introduction. Probably won't need to change the introduction, but every time there's a significant patch I'll try to redo any affected games. So it's best to try and get the latest, I'd imagine, which will probably be the closest to whatever you have. This will be the starting screen. Generally, we won't be changing any options, with the exception of, in my case, I've knocked the graphics down a bit, and I will normally turn off the music to prevent it from driving everyone crackers. I'm going to be sticking to single player, so you'll start on this screen. I'm not going to mess with anything up here for each game. I'm going to stick with the starting scenario where they suggest these countries as interesting ones to play. And the plan is, I'm just going to start at the left and go through. There's a good reason for that. The Ottomans, as well as being the most powerful country, there's a lot of things we don't have to think about with them. We don't need to worry about institutions, colonization. There's a number of things we can get away with as the Ottomans, and I think as each new country is introduced, there's new things to think about. I think they've put them in this order for a reason, and I would recommend going through the videos in this order and playing them in this order. But, of course, perfectly open for anyone. And that should pretty much do it. So, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the first video.